What's going on, everyone? Good to be back. Good to have you all here. Thanks, Majid, already getting in with the trolling. Thank you. Yep, everybody remember to dislike and unsub and leave. Thank you. Oh, wait a second. That's not right. That's not right. Okay. Big, boring day, just like yesterday. Look at that. But we are heading closer and closer down to the lows here. See if maybe we can take this out. Now this is pretty it's kind of odd here for Bitcoin, I'm not gonna lie. Done. Hey, no, you're not allowed to leave. You gotta stay and moderate. Good to see you, Zulon. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, what do we got here? We got we look on the daily chart. It's gonna look a little bit messy, but finally, we've broken down here. So we've got a love you too, Majid. Don't worry, buddy. You know, we had two inside bars in a row here, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Thursday, breaking down here. So still going to be a bit strange here, but I do believe that we go down towards the low of the week here, right? So the Monday low. Don't take that as gospel or anything, but it looks like we're kind of doing that. So we've broken the previous day's low. We're trading below it right now, which leads us to believe that we're not really gonna go test the previous day's high, and that we're looking for liquidity down below, right? Going back out to this 15-minute chart here. Check out some volume here. And there's Mr. Unknown doing it too. You guys are great. Thanks. So, yeah, the volume's still really kind of pretty relaxed here. There's no real great spikes happening. So just merrily kind of cruising down towards the lows. Now on the 15-minute, we've got this potential little W here, so we might have a little reversal. But who knows how far that will go. Doesn't seem like it'll go too far here. Will be interesting to see what New York brings. So let's just break it down here to the 1-minute chart. And the New York pre-market here is just starting to put in its opening range here, all right? Thank you, Marius. A heart for you as well, sir. So should be an interesting afternoon, I think, now that we've broken out finally of a 2-day coil. Hopefully we get some relatively decent movement to the downside just to pick up some more steam. All right, so what do I mean by a 2-day coil? Well, that's what the inside bars are right on the daily chart. So Monday we put in a massive range, and then Tuesday we put in an inside bar, meaning we can't break the previous day's highs or lows, and then Wednesday we do the same thing. So, you know, it's just putting in lower highs and higher lows, just really compressing and coiling up price here to then get ready for a potentially explosive move. So let's see if it comes. All right. We did have, let me make sure here, but we did have news out today. So retail sales are down. Core retail sales way lower than projected. That's in Canada. Never mind. And unemployment claims came in a little bit hotter than they were looking for. Projected was at 221,000, and we got 223. And remember that President Trump is speaking at 4 o'clock. So they're calling that a significant event here. Let's see how that goes. All right, so that's kind of it for Bitcoin. Not much has changed in the last few days. I'm still looking for, again, this is my first zone of interest for potential long here. We do, you know, I am just looking at this as a big range right now with our low here and our high here. So as long as we're putting in some internal structure here, look for day trades, but not really big on the swings until we get down here. Then I'll be interested in a multi-day trade. For the NASDAQ, it's just been ripping up. And now it seems to be slowing down and potentially starting to look for reversal here. We're trading below Asia low here. All right, so let me get rid of these and we'll talk about the return of London. Finally, it's only been 23 days since the new year began, and this is the first real nice London setup that I'm always looking for. I took it a bit cautiously, so I took profit pretty quick and then hit a 50-point take profit too, but then it turned around. So I'm now out of this trade, but again, it's the same sort of trade every day, but this is the first one that's happened this year. So usually they happen 3-4 times a week, but since the new year, this is the first real good one that has played out. So we get our London Open, which has just put in a high. It pushes down, leaves a big old fair value gap. All right, and then into that fair value gap, we're looking for a 0.5 or a golden pocket hit. Pardon me, preferably the golden pocket. And comes right in and off she goes. All right, so there's a couple of things that are a little bit sketchy here. Obviously, one is that we have broken the Asia lows, so this could potentially be just a stop hunt here. All right, but the thing that makes you feel good inside about yourself is the fact that we're trending down and you're following trend with this trade. All right, so Not bad at all there. Not bad. So let's see if that continues. All right. That trade happens more times than I'd like to admit. And very simple, very mechanical, tiny stop loss. One of my favorite setups on the NASDAQ, I would have to say. And now we're just trading back above now this fib range. So we've taken the high and now we're coming back down. We came back up and tested that golden pocket quite nicely. And we tried to get back into the Asia range, but really couldn't. And the London opening range looks like they're pretty set on us moving down. So let's see what New York's got to say about that. And if we, we're pretty close to that London high, so could come up and sweep this high, or just this one and then turn it back around and go. Or if it comes to the downside first, it could just rip down, or it could be looking for this stop hunt low. All right, so be careful with that. Now, in other news, I posted in the Discord, I believe it was in the general channel. Let's see here. Yep, in the general channel, we've got the periodic transaction report for Nancy Pelosi. So if you want to trade like a rich politician, that's the best thing to follow, really. All right, so one of the things that Nancy bought, and I mean, it's crazy how much it's ripping already, is Tempus AI. All right, so she bought it. It was pretty dirt cheap, and she's already made a killing on it. Unbelievable. Nancy, world's greatest trader. She actually beats the inverse Kramer by a few points every year, so it's pretty wild. But yeah, this is one she bought. The only thing she really is turning her back on is Apple. She's kind of dumped Apple, so I don't know if that's very wise. But I guess she fears the whole Donald Trump China warfare thing and kind of global supply chain stuff. All right. But a very, man, like, it's weird to look at this because when she released that, I was watching it, and the fundamentals are not that good. All right. They're either not that good or they're non-existent, actually. So yeah, it's really bad. So you know that this woman's got some sort of information about some contracts these guys are getting or something like that, all right? If you look at the earnings, estimated earnings, all right, not good. Estimated revenue, not bad. If we come down into the stats here, look, there are none. Price to earnings ratio, don't exist. Price to sales ratio, price to cash flow, non-existent. Price to book ratio, horrible. So man, it'd be so tough to buy this unless Nancy Pelosi buys it. Then look what happens. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you got to wait until February 26th here for for earnings to come out. So that would be pretty interesting. But she did dump Apple. She sold if not the majority, almost all of her Nvidia stock as well. But she then opened up some call options on it. So she's still bullish on Nvidia, but she got rid of all of her stock. So Nvidia will be a nice one to watch over the next little bit. See how that reacts. And then she doubled down on Amazon and Alphabet. So yeah, I wish she became my girlfriend. Then I would give you guys some tips. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could live with that thing. That would be, ooh, that'd be tough living, let me tell you. Tough living. Anyhow, if you want to follow this, all right, it is Tempus AI Inc. Trades on the NASDAQ. Ticker is TEM. All right, and it's pretty interesting to just follow this stuff and see how the great Nancy Pelosi does it. She's so good at trading. It's unbelievable. All that time she spends serving the public tirelessly, and she still has time to do all this great TA. It's pretty wild. So yeah, there she goes. Okay, moving on. Oh, moving on here. We take a peek at the pretty much all we got to look at is futures here, but NASDAQ down 113, S&P or the ES1 down 7.5 points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually, that's quite a bit on the ES mini. All right. That's $50 a point you're looking at there. That's quite a bit. DAX is doing all right. The US 100 down pretty nastily, all right. And the Dixie's pretty flat. It's not really doing much, down a few pips, nothing major there. So it should be a pretty decent open. I think things are going to have to either normalize. Futures are going to have to catch up with the indexes. So let's see how that goes. And let's see what kind of volume New York brings to the open, all right? So again, on the Bitcoin chart, we'll just get into a little bit of this madness, all right? There's really not much to kind of talk about here. All right, if we look at what's going on, it's really pretty obvious that we're just trading in a range. Price is not really moving around that hard. Does look like we want to go down, you know, right now. That's what I would say, but it's not guaranteed, right? We're just putting in like this internal structure constantly, and now we've got our first day of breaking downwards. So that's the only sort of bias that I would take, is that it looks like we want to go down, but we may have already gone down enough today. All right, so if we look at our previous day's range here, all right, there it is. Very tight little range for a Wednesday, and price breaks below. It's also the midweek reversal time, but there's really nothing to reverse off of here, right? It's you know, we're just trading in a coiled up range here, so we've broken down quite a bit. We can definitely come back right now. So one thing that's pretty interesting is yesterday's New York opening range seemed to get quite a bit of respect today. We'll go back out to the 15. Pardon me. So support breaks it, resistance, then now it's just holding as resistance. Okay, so it's a pretty interesting looking level. And then if we take a fib pull, we've now got this very cute golden pocket in here with support, resistance. So it's built up a little bit of a storyline there. So if price does come back into the previous day's range, I'd be looking at that and thinking about a potential day trade off of that. Yeah. Is such info public or leaked? Asks Marius. No, it's public. Yeah, they have to disclose that information. So it's public. If you go to go in the Discord, Marius, I posted it. It's in the general chat. I posted it at let's see here. It was at 9:06 this morning. I posted it, so you'll see. It's the disclosures clerk.house.gov/public. It's government. Yeah, you found it. All right, there you go. So yeah, it's and it's government information. All right, that's very legitimate. So yeah, they have to disclose it. It's not leaked. they really have to disclose what they do. No, she doesn't have X. No. And in fact, they're all, I don't think any left-wing politician has X. They all hate Elon now, so they're all trying to get him boycotted one way or another. Okay, so that would be pretty much it right now. And if we start putting in lower lows here still, we can, you know, this pull, you can bring it way down here and it'll still be in this sort of zone here, which is getting respected. I'm not saying that that's a guaranteed thing, right? But watch for that. Okay, again, I'm still looking really at this. This zone is very interesting for me. And then if this fails, it's going to be the bottom of the range and then trade it back up to the top of the range. So that's it. That is really it. The other thing too that you might, let me get it on this here. All right, so this is the other thing that everybody is just really either missing out on or they're really betting heavy on. And it's pretty wild how they were calling for this already for months. They've been saying that gold will reach $3,000 in 2025, and it looks like it's well on its way there. And there's a pretty interesting thing here that we can look at. All right, so there's a thing that I like to really do, like everybody knows that knows me anyways, knows I like trading with the stock quite a bit. And for the most part, I'm just kind of looking for these signals when we're trading above the big 3 EMAs, right? I'm just looking for that signal and then get a bullish candle and hop in there, right? So on the daily chart, you can see it works wonderfully here. And as long as you're above the EMAs, you're looking for longs, not shorts, and vice versa. So everything is going great right now, but when things get a little bit wacky, I'll talk about this. I guess on the NASDAQ, it's a little more obvious. But when I start getting like a little bit unsure of the market, even though my typical setups are there, sort of like what's been happening on the NASDAQ for the first few weeks, it's to be expected, right? You've heard me say that. First couple of weeks of the markets in January, generally they don't act quite normally. You know, they kind of, well, I'm not going to say that, but anyways, they don't act 100% normal. So one thing that I like to do, I'll just put it on the NASDAQ and take off these fibs here. And I'll put on the big 3. Okay, so one thing I find really useful when you're a little bit in doubt and you're not feeling quite safe, right? For me, that's the most important thing when I'm trading. I got to feel relatively safe about it, right? There's that whole thing of when you're opening a trade, you got to ask yourself, you know, what am I looking at here? Is this a good setup? What are the chances I'm going to get stopped out here, right? So when you're in that mindset of new year trading, everything's a little bit wacky and things aren't working quite as well as they do. What I really like to do is, I call it the Unitrader law of 2, all right, or the rule of 2. So if I'm looking to trade the stock, instead of trading it off the first hit, I'm going to wait for a second hit. All right, and you'll miss entries this way, all right? Very true, but you'll be a lot safer. So you'll see that a lot of times this sort of stuff will happen. All right, we break underneath, price comes back up. Okay, it gives you that first signal, and then it comes up and really hits into the EMA and then gives you that second signal, and then you're in, right? And then it comes back up and gives you another signal, and you don't get the second signal on this one. So this is a trade you would hit. This is a trade you wouldn't hit based on that, and it's a much better trade, right? But it just keeps you safe if you're feeling kind of unsure about yourself, all right? Or unsure about the situation. Again, here's one that you would miss, all right? Because you've only got the one signal. But then here you get a really nice signal. All right. First signal right here, second signal right here. Nice trade. Here you're not looking to trade it at all because you're just totally sideways, right? So the rule of 2, all right? And you can do that for not just the stock. You can use that on RSI. You can use that on the Crypto Vikings indicator. And you can also think about it in terms of market structure. All right. So price comes in, makes a low. Let's say we'll get rid of this here. Pop up the, what time? We got 8 minutes till the open. We'll pop up a quick RSI here. Okay, so as price is moving downwards, you're starting to build up these bullish divergences, right? Okay, this is a first real clear low with a real clear divergence. All right. Price then comes down, puts in a lower low. Now you've got a short-term div. All right, so this is going to be your real first obvious place to be looking for an entry. Just wait it out, wait for that second obvious div. All right, so you've got the divs building up here. You get your first cute little low to low div where you could really be thinking about getting into a trade, and this would have worked out pretty nicely. But again, that second div comes in and it works much nicer. So it could be that, and could also be just market structure, right? So if you, for example, this, even the trade I was talking about earlier off at the golden pocket here. All right, price comes up, hits into it, pushes away. Don't be afraid of it coming back up to test it, right? If you hopped in here, and if you weren't too sure about this, then you see it go down, you see price come up, big bearish engulfing candle below that Asia low. All right, so that would be your second sort of attempt at it. And that would be basically like that rule that the market loves testing things twice, right? How does your typical London session look like, really? Do you sit for hours just watching, not even taking a trade if you're not seeing anything very interesting? Not really. So I don't watch London that long. Like what I really do is watch the first like hour of it, maybe. That's about it. Because London's great off the bat, and then it'll have like these little spurts of greatness. But for the most part, London is excruciatingly boring. So no, I'm just looking for, so this London setup that I talk about all the time, it's really off the open. You know, I want to see it happen pretty much off the open. And if the open isn't creating it, then I want to see it created just behind me. But I want to see it within like the first 15 minutes of the Asia Open. So if it doesn't happen, then I just don't watch it. Like London is quite boring. It's not like New York, right? And then in New York, for the most part, I'll let the obvious open play itself out, let them torture everybody. Once in a while I'll hop in for a scalp, but I'm going to try to keep that to an absolute minimum this year. And then after 4 o'clock-ish is when I'll start looking for the setups that are usually going to be the big movers. All right, and sometimes it happens a little earlier, sometimes it'll happen quite a bit later, like 6 or 7. But if you're watching New York, it's a lot easier to really see movement, right? New York doesn't tend to do this for hours at a time. It can do it, but it doesn't tend to, right? So honestly, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, is that first like 20 minutes, maybe half hour max. But I kind of want to see it. I want to see the setup present itself relatively quickly. So this might have taken a little bit longer to sort of play out here. Let's say price pushed down a little bit further. You would have still had a golden pocket either in here or very close to it, or the fair value gap might have gone lower. And in the first half hour, I'm really kind of looking. What time is it where I am now? Right now, it is 3 minutes to 2:30, so 2:27. I'm in GMT time zone. Pardon me. But that doesn't really matter, right? This is the London Opens at 8 o'clock, right? So I'm Eastern in the US. Oh yeah, so you're going to be asleep when London opens. So New York opens there in 3 minutes, right? Eastern time is going to be 3 a.m. in the morning. That's London Open, 3 a.m. in Eastern time. Yeah, so I don't know, unless you like staying up till 3 a.m., then you can catch those. But you don't have to trade London session. You can definitely catch this. You can catch moves in New York, and they're actually generally quite a bit better, right? Now the big thing about these, all right, and it doesn't happen that often. Like today was 60 something points. I was closed out at 50. Okay, so hits the golden pocket down to here. Yeah, 62.75 points. So that's pretty typical, like you're not looking for a massive home run, but you can catch 50 to 100 points somewhat consistently. But the killer of these are, for example, today this could have really dumped, and then if New York opens, it doesn't come up for any of the London levels, which today is pretty dangerous because you've got the London high here that New York might go up for, and you've got the actual London high here, right, the opening. So, but once in a while you'll catch these and the continuation will happen, and you'll be set up for those 400-point moves off of London, which starts trending to one direction, right? And today we had that potential because price opened up high, and then Asia came down, put in its low real late, and then London opened and just kept going down, right? So that's kind of what I was hoping for, was just a big dump down. At the same time, it's a little bit suspect because you've just taken those lows once again, but the stop loss was so minimal that it worked out quite well. So here we go. We got a minute left here. I'm just going to close this down. I want to get my pre-range going. All right, New York pre-market range, there it is. And let's see what New York does. But now I would also suspect here, like today, we haven't really accomplished anything, right? So we've got our previous day's high way up here, previous day's low way down here. The open is also pretty much at the low. And then the close is right up here in the Asia opening range. So we haven't really, yes, Marius, pre-market is 30 minutes before the opening. Yeah. Yeah, it's what you'll hear Tino call the Brinks, the US Brinks box, all right? 30 minutes prior. So yeah, we haven't taken anything out yet, so we're just potentially printing an inside bar here. But I don't really see that happening today, but it could be the big turnaround coming here, all right? And there you go, New York Open has now taken the previous, the pre-market low. So New York looks happy to come for some of these lows here. Love these live streams. Thank you at Unitrader. No problem, McAlpha. No worries, man. It's my pleasure. I like talking about this stuff, and nobody at home listens to me. So thank you for listening. While I'm saying that, I'm also supposed to say smash them like buttons. I've only got 4 likes. Subscribe to the channel. What else am I supposed to say? Join our Discord. Link in the description. Where you can get more than just my point of view. The Great Crypto Viking, the legendary Zulu Goat, aka Andy, aka the world's nicest guy. Don't forget Mr. Sos, if you can understand him. He's a legend. He's a burgeoning legend. BTC is ripping. All right, hold on a second. There they go. Yeah, the bit on the move. Oh, look at that. So again, I'm very happy to see this kind of volume coming in on the New York Opens. It's so good to see, man. New York looks like it's getting interested in the bit again. And there we go, back into previous day's range. Let's see if they'll hold it now. Very nice volume. Very nice volume. Love to see that. So not quite as high as yesterday's opening. Sorry. Just previous pre-market range sort of highs, but nonetheless, great to see them come in with that sort of gusto. Doing the old stops. Do you generally see a recapture of vectors within the Brinks? You can. You definitely can. So the pre-market can sometimes definitely go grab some of the London vectors if there are any. So yeah, it's not untypical. But for the most part, when you're looking at the Brinks, even the Open, you know, it's generally just them searching for liquidity. So that's why they'll go for the vectors. They'll go down, clean them out, move the other way, and then maybe come back the same way. It's a bit tricky trading this time. All right. Now I know a lot of guys. You'll see a lot of influencers talk about trading the New York Open. And they're looking for like whatever. I know the ICT guys are always talking about the Judas swing trade, which is right at the beginning. So they'd be looking for something exactly, I guess, to counter trade this, right? Don't hold me accountable to that one, because I saw that strategy a long time ago and I paid it no mind, really. So this is pretty much just a washing machine, right? Where they're getting liquidity in, and then things will generally start to turn around. Now, once in a while, they will pick a direction right off the open and just go with it. But if it happens, you know, you don't really need to get too excited. Just relax, watch it, then wait for a pullback, and then enjoy the ride. So right now, again, we're back in previous days range. And there's that bloody New York opening range, man. It's pretty wild. Make this down here. I'm gonna pop this golden pocket back up just to see if it does, but that didn't quite hit, but that's about as close to hitting as you can get without hitting it here. What's the high on that candle? 370. And that's 388. So we're 18. There you go. Now it's hit. Nothing happening yet. All right, so let's just check this out on the 1 hour. What happened here? Where's all my input? There you go. Thank you. That was weird. So on the 1 hour now, above the 50 EMA. Marius calling a naked VWAP up there as well. Where in the golden pocket, Marius? Or is it just in the New York opening range? So this is obviously now going to be a vector candle, right? So if we are thinking vectors, we got two of them to come get. 104 600-ish. All right, so just under here. So here we go, 104 600-ish, where we are right now. Whoa, the pump is on. Oh. You go now. New York. New York swept both NASDAQ pre-market high and low. Now looking like they're gonna go up for those London highs potentially. Swept out some liquidity from these lows. Let's see where they go. But Bitcoin looks a little bit more interesting right now, I have to say. So let's bring this down to a lower time frame. And check out what happens here. Breaking, Senator Cynthia Lummis tweets, big things are coming. That is wow, thanks. That clarifies everything. That's pretty awesome. I love it. Big things are coming. Right? What's coming? What is it? What kind of things is she talking about? Come on, Cynthia, be specific. Do we buy or sell? I guess she's probably talking about Pelosi's stock picks, which I really can't believe that stuff, man. The girl buys it and then she publishes that in Bitcoin. I'm kidding, Marius. I'm kidding. I figured that. But if Nancy Pelosi buys Bitcoin, then it'll rip, because all her constituents will go buy it, man. All right, so this is the kind of stuff Steve Morrow talks about in the hybrid system. You see these three pushes up, all right, three vectors up, and then you look for the reversal. Would I trade this? I don't know, man. This is a tough one at this time. All that volume coming in. Let's wait for this candle here to close. Local EQ plus naked VWAP plus range point of control, says Crypto Viking. He's throwing it all in there, plus the kitchen sink. You're a little naked to the naked VWAP party, though. Marius got you beat. Beat it? What do you mean beat it? Like the Michael Jackson song? Or are you talking about beat it and keep ripping? Or are you telling me to beat it? Not really sure how to take it. Here we go. The pink vector after the hit. Red vector. Oh, red vector. Yeah, that's a vector short signal there, but at this time, again, it's a bit of a Bit of a tough one, man. Let's get back on our volume watch here. Because that definitely, well, that is a stopping volume candle. So that is it. That is it. I think we can beat the resistance. Oh, you think we can beat the resistance? That's a definite signal off of the vectors for sure right there. Big volume candle. They're not letting it go up. Now let's see what we can get. What do you look for in this situation? What do I look for? So what I like to see honestly is a little bit of a trend reversal here on the lower time frame. So 3 minute or 1 minute chart, but 3 minute is good. In this case, this is a very decent opportunity to just short off of when you're trading. If you're trading vectors, all right, you've got the 3 pushes, all right, which is what you really look for is 3 in a row, or like they don't have to be in a row. They can be, you know, you could get a green vector, then a couple of normals, then another green, and then a couple of normals, and then another green. And then you get your red vector, but it is a stopping volume candle, all right? So you see this increased volume and they don't really let price move out of there, but it is a red vector. So you could take advantage of this considering that your stop loss is going to be relatively tight. All right, so here's your candle close. Stop loss is going to have to be above that. And again, now, if we're a little bit wary of this, instead of getting emotional about this, right, we just take our time and let's see what happens here. It's exactly what I was talking about earlier, is maybe wait for the Unitrader rule of 2. Let's see if this comes back and retests this golden pocket, or maybe even comes up and tests the deep end of it. And now we're holding the previous day's New York opening range, which is neither bullish nor bearish. It just means we're gonna hang out here for a little bit. So that's what I would look for, JD, in this situation. Just be calm, you know. Don't get excited. All right, that's the key here. Like this stuff, especially with vectors, if you're watching vector candles, this stuff is made to sort of get you excited, right? You see these crazy green, big green candles, then you see a red one. The colors are just so emotionally devastating. Yeah, no worries, JD. Anytime, buddy. And then now we got a blue coming in that might turn green. So just really take your time, man. Relax. What is that? Relax, don't do it. When you want to get to it, just chill out. Crypto Viking was saying he thinks we can beat the resistance. He's starting to sound more like a freedom fighter every day, beating the resistance. So let's check out why Crypto Viking was saying that. We'll just get rid of this guy. Get rid of volume for a second. All right, so 3 minute time frame looking good. Let's check this out on the 15, even though I know Crypto Viking's probably not looking at it on the 15. Oh, money flow is looking pretty decent here on the 15-minute chart. Really curving up. Momentum seems to be decent. Let's take a peek here at Crypto Viking style time frames. 12-minute. 12-minute looks great. You've already got money flow in the up here now. Breaking out of the previous day's New York opening range. And then we'll take a peek here at, let's do it. Oh. Momentum, says Crypto Viking. Yeah. There you go. Half hour. You've, sorry, 24-minute. Everything's pointing up, man. Got your dips here. Very nice. monster New York candle. Love it. Well, that's actually a really, really nice signal here. Very nice signal. JD, if you're in the, I'm guessing you're in the Discord group. So would you like for an entry at a 50% retrace, asked JD? Not necessarily. So what I would, if I'm looking for the long here, then I would need a retrace into something. Doesn't necessarily have to be 50%. Yeah, it would have to be something. It's because of an ounce of SBR, guys. Huh. Show me indicators. World King, one top. What do you mean show me indicators? What does that mean? These? Do you want to see this? Show me indicators. This is your Trader's Reality main, but I've got it very, very toned down here. It's a very busy indicator. All I have on here are the vector candles. That's it. And then this is our Trading Academy indicator. It's an invite only script. This one you can get. Got a lot of stuff on it though. The Trader's Reality main. It's a great indicator. There's a lot on it and a lot to learn about it. If you got any specific questions, just ask, I'll answer. Or join the Discord, and there's lots of resources in there that you can get for absolutely free. Not the Trading Academy indicator, but definitely on the Trader's Reality stuff, you can get a lot of free info in there. All right. Description is in the link. How to get the bottom indicator? Well, if you want the bottom indicator right now, what I would suggest is you join our Discord group, and we're gonna have a big VIP sale. I mean, it's gonna be super, super cheap, and you can try it out for a month for virtually free. It's not 100% free, but it's about as close as it can get. I don't know if Crypto Viking wants to say anything down there in the chat about it. And then you'll get access to it. Link is in the description. Discord. Join us there. Say hello. Tell them Unitrader sent you. And then I'll probably reply to you. Now at local range value area high and a daily resistance. This is the Crypto Viking telling us in the chat right there. Did we agree on it? I agreed on it. So, and I think, yeah, Andy sent out a heart. Let me see what he hearted it. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not talking out of my butt here. Yeah, I said sounds good to me, and then Andy put a big heart, so I think we're all in agreement. Yeah, I agree. I agree to it. I'm just going to bring this down to the 3-minute real quick here. So money flow starting to even out here. But yeah, World King, join the Discord, man. Ask some questions in there. It's free. If you don't want to pay for anything, you can still be in the main section. Ask questions, get to know some people, see, no pressure. Oh, here goes Crypto Viking. He's gonna say he says, that's the Norwegian brother in him. It's going to be a campaign for February. Sign-ups before the 10th of February, it's $1 for the month of February. That's about as free as it gets, all right? $1. So you could try it out for the month. If you don't like it, then get rid of it. And we can part ways amicably. If you do like it, then it's still pretty cheap. Like our Discord is very inexpensive. It's $20 a month for access to indicators. That's not the only one. We have other indicators that you can also have access to, workspaces, exocharts templates, all kinds of different stuff. You get access to it all. Plus we do TA, we do live, private live streams twice a week at least. Sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Lots of goodies in there. And for the current VIPs, we're also going to give you a Valentine's present. So don't worry about us selling it for $1 to everybody else, especially those who renewed their VIP this month. No need to shake fists at us, because you're all going to get a really good deal, even a better deal than this one. Crypto Viking says daily trading analysis, daily news channel coming up. New news channel coming up. I think we have to give that a different name. New news sounds like a weird news on news. All right. Either way, lots of info in there, guys. Join the Discord. Link in the description. And you'll definitely get fee is more than subs price. Fee is more than subs price? Huh. You mean the fee for transfer? Yeah. We're really not going to be making any fat stacks off the dollar either. So, yeah. Yeah, so here we go. I really don't think we're going to go much higher than this. I don't think we'll take the previous day's high. Now, remember that this rule is really applicable to normal candles, right? We've got 2 inside bars in a row. So if any day it's possible to take the previous day's low and the previous day's high, it's today. But still, we keep that as a less of a probability and assume that the jig is up here. All right, so let's take a peek here. Right, there's our previous day's open. Let's see if we hit into this. Yeah, we pay 7% sales tax, LOL, but it's 7% of $1. Yeah, and then there's also the the website, the payment system, all that stuff. No, not a big deal, but it's just so people can get a quick introduction to it if they so feel inclined. You'll get pretty good value out of it, like the I know we talk about this stuff publicly quite a bit, but for example, this level here, I did talk about this level in a YouTube live, I know that, but in the Discord channel, we talked about exactly what was in here, exactly what was going on in here. Crypto Viking also posted about it. So you'll get, I mean, just from here, you should have been able to pay for a subscription for a couple of months, right? So it's worth it, I would say. Yeah. Okay, let me take a quick peek here at the NASDAQ. There it goes. Huh, you're not going to take that London high? That doesn't sound right. Get into the old John Wick here. Let's take a peek. Not once, but twice. Very nice. There you go. Crypto Viking saying, "Oh yeah, link payment 3%." But yeah, that's not why we're not really here for money. We like it, but that's not really why we do YouTube with what do we got here? 48 views. How come I've only got 5 likes? Only 5 likes? All right. Hit them likes buttons at least. Okay, so now we start to get a little bit of a reality check here, trading back below this golden pocket. Let's just see if that hit into any. Yeah, it did. 786. So it doesn't quite hit the previous day's opening price. Bounces off that 786. You got money flow pointing downwards now on the 3-minute chart, but again, the 3-minute is not the best chart to be looking at for this stuff. Let's check out what the old 24 is saying. Red vector. So, I mean, we're definitely going to have to recover this. Question is, does that happen now or does it happen later? But this is a pretty decent short, you know. You've pushed high into the previous day's range. Likelihood that we're not going to take the previous day's high, hit a 786. It's looking pretty decent here. Now, would I look for a pullback off of this for a long? Potentially I would. All right, and what I would be looking for is this sort of level right here would be my first interest. So this is our Asia high for now. And I'm going to get rid of this fibs because it's starting to look a bit crazy. Also, this whole zone here, it's going to act a little bit as glue now. So we might get sticky in here for a bit. And then, of course, there's this vector to recover. Now, this was a vector pretty quickly. Volume spiked up real quick in it, so it might come pretty deep down into this candle if it does. So yeah, that's looking like it really does need to be recovered here. So holding the 9 EMA here on the 3-minute. Let's check out the 1-minute. 9 hasn't crossed the 20 yet. Let me get rid of that. It's a pretty clean price action, man. There's not really much here to go off of. Like, would love to see an order block or a fair value gap or something up here, but there's nothing there. Got an order block here, holding on a fair value gap right now. And this is not a great fair value gap either because of all this price action right here behind it, but it's pretty much just a range candle, right? It's inside a range. All right, I just want to check how this bad boy is doing here now for some reason. I'm going to be looking at this all the time now. Mostly take profits as Crypto Viking sinking open interest. Oh, look at that. Tempest opens quite down. All right, interesting. Might get a good opportunity to buy some Tempest today. Follow the Nancy Pelosi lead. Spike at the top, not consistent with licks, not much exhaustion from longs. It's definitely suspect. Nothing that I would see here says weakness, right? That's what I was saying. It's very clean. There's nothing here really. What I'm gonna do is get my so if you haven't noticed, my OBS skills are not strong. So what I'll try to do is get some OBS madness happening, and I'll get exo charts up as well so we can flick between one and the other, and then we can discuss the exo charts reality. Or we can just let Crypto Viking tell us what's going on in the chat. Yeah, but so far no sign of weakness on this really. The only thing you've got is that red vector building up here, all right, on like the 24-minute chart, but it's really clean. There's not much here. All right, we've got all these signs of strength to the upside, no signs of strength to the downside yet. And again, holding on fair value gaps, even though they're poor. This is again, it's not a great fair value gap. This is a good fair value gap here. All right, not a great one either because that's a big pullback in. But something like this, that's kind of what you want to see. You don't want to see all this price action right beside it, like this. And it's still holding. Everybody's getting excited about the Trump 4 o'clock speech. Let's see what old Donald has to say. One thing I would like to know is exactly what his crypto executive order was all about. Really haven't looked at that. If you go long here, your stop loss has to be 103 at 900. Says Crypto Viking. That's pretty big. 103 900. Below the daily open. Is that what we're on about here? Why do you say that, Crypto Viking? Quick little explanation on that. I personally wouldn't be longing this heavy volatility. Yeah, I wouldn't be longing this. This personally, I just couldn't do it. It's just a little bit too sketchy for me. Although it does look strong, but ATR 1.5. All right, there you go. The Viking bringing his average true range stop loss skills to the table. I'm just gonna peek back over here. Wow. New York not really doing that much here. Just rope-a-doping people in. 3 o'clock now. Looks like they're going to go for the dump. What a liquidity grab. Wow. Okay, so let's see what happens here. What are we on? The 1 minute chart. I'm moving it over to the, yeah, not even close to it. So yeah, really zero signs of weakness here. And now much cleaner price action to the upside too. Not really leaving much here. Not leaving anything really. So let's see if they set up maybe a little trap here now. grab up some liquidity and then keep it moving. This is a very questionable potential M formation here. I would not buy into that. This is very sketchy here. This whole thing is very sketchy. Here's our first sign of potential weakness, but I would not buy it. Very, very sketchy. Damn right, oh damn. That's the big dump. So there we go. We've now pretty much collected that vector candle, pretty much recouped. It's recouped enough. We don't have to get any more out of there. But let's see what happens here now. So this is the kind of stuff that I like to see. All right, and I might miss the move. All right, so let's say this is the short setting up here, right? Let's just take a peek here. We're still trading in the previous day's range here, although that wick did go below it. So now we've got this potential fair value gap here. We are bouncing off of this 200 EMA here. So what I'd like to see now is a little bit of consolidation here. Right, it doesn't have to dump yet, doesn't have to do anything. I just want to see a little bit of consolidation under the 50 EMA. All right, I don't care where, if it goes to the 2 or the 1, not a big deal. I just want to see it consolidate here for a little bit. Few candles, like good 4 or 5 candles or more is fine with me, but I'd like to see at least 4. And then maybe wiggle our way back up here. And now we've got this massive fair value gap, right? So now we can start thinking about a potential M formation. And I know that this looks like one, right? But I don't buy it. So what I'd want to see now is, yeah, little consolidation and then price come back up. Maybe hit into the golden pocket, maybe that 786, maybe even that 886, and maybe even equal highs there. And then watch it turn around. That's what I would want to see. If we now just push down, then again, take your time, relax, don't get too excited about it, let price break, and then come back, look for a retest off of these EMAs. And I would be bringing it down to probably the 3-minute chart and look for a potential big 3 setup for the continuation move to the downside. And it really is because of the time. Like this whole New York Open thing was a bit on the crazy side. Again, this M formation, I don't really trust it, but it could be the move here. But just too clean here. There's nothing to trade off of there. If there had been a nice fair value gap here or a order block or something, then I might have been a little more interested, but not like that. And this is the sexy part of trading, right? Just kind of waiting and chilling out. And they do look like they're going to keep dumping this. Yeah, maybe not. Nope. No signals. Now, if this engulfs, this might be a cute little scalp opportunity to the upside. I wouldn't take it because it's probably not going to be worth the while. Yeah, it wouldn't be worth the while. Never mind. Jeez, 2%. Brutal trade though, because you're inside these EMAs here, so it's incredibly high risk. Ten seconds for this candle to close. Look at that. It's just psychotic. I could have just opened that one. Wow. Waiting for 4 o'clock. That's why the 4 o'clock time on the NASDAQ is a little more relaxed, man. So this is going to be our lop break here. Again, this is brutal to be trading in here. I know it's only the 1 minute chart, and EMAs don't mean that much on the 1 minute, but they still mean something. So brutal place to be trading right now. Okay, so let's talk about these, the law of two, all right? Unitrader's law of two. 1, 2. We're about to get our lop. There you go, 2-bar break on our lop. So that would be a potential entry right there. Right, so now what I would wait for, you see how we've got this potential fair value gap here? It's a horrible fair value gap because it's been traded through right beforehand. But now if this candle turns green, or in my case, light gray, that is a very decent entry. Again, high risk. You're trading in the middle of these EMAs, right? So it's not something I would take, but you can sit here, watch it, and kind of figure out what's going on here. Trading back into the neutral zone on the stock. Looks like it isn't making up its mind. There you go, closed green. So there's your entry. All right, but I wouldn't really do that. What I would really like to see is price move away from it, do what it did here, but you don't really want to see it consolidating, creating this range while the EMAs are coming up to meet it, right? You want to see it kind of like price moves away on this first pullback, come back in, hit into them, give you the signal on the stock, and then you get the hell in. So yeah, looks like just brutality now. And again, we've already taken the previous day's low. Highly unlikely we're going to take the previous day's high. Although if there is any day to do that, it's today because we've got 2 inside bars in a row on the daily chart. So they coiled up, right? We coiled up. We get our breakout to the downside, which is our fake out potentially. Then we get moved to the upside, and now we start to dump again. So you really never know. on a day like today. But the same could be said for any day, really. You never do really know. Okay, let me just check this bad boy out. So I'm just going to do a quick recap on this before I get out of here. So right now we're trading New York below the Asia Open, sorry, the Asia low on NASDAQ futures, all right? New York has yet to take out a relevant London high. You could say that it took out the pre-market high and the pre-market low. It's taken out some relevant lows from London session, but hasn't taken out the low yet. Also, it's in the same sort of situation here. We're just in an inside bar, so not much happening here. Scary to grab it in the middle here, not BT created. No buying tail created. Sorry, we did have a volume spike, but no tail in the open. Yeah, I wouldn't be trading it personally. And even this, like, this is very sketchy here. It's you're just in the middle of a range, really. All right, like it looks like you're trading below Asia and all that, right? But you're just in the really close to the middle of yesterday's range. So not great. So what I'm going to do here is just wait for an actual move outside of this opening range for New York, and then see if I can capitalize on that. For Bitcoin, yeah, I really couldn't be trading this in here. Oops. Did not mean to do that. It's just, you know, it's just liquidity, man. Big move up, quick move down. Now they're just putting in the wee trap here. All right, just coiling up. So it's probably going to get a big move out of here, I'd imagine. And I don't imagine the big move is going to be to the upside. As much as I don't want to say that. All right, I'm only saying it because of this. All right, we've taken the previous day's low. Taking the previous day's high is not that common once you've done that. So again, take that with a grain of salt because it was an inside bar. I know I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but it bears repeating. And we do have this massive level down here that would be so nice to come into. Really, it would be real nice. Let me just check one thing here real quick. And by checking, I mean just plopping it up here so we all get a good sense of it. All right, so we have come in and hit the equilibrium, right? The 0.5 of this range. So that's already been hit. And if we're searching out for liquidity here, there's this real nice low here on this 1 hour chart, which would put us right into this section here around this golden pocket, and all kinds of stuff happening here. If we look on the daily chart, we've now got the 50 EMA just starting to exit it. So maybe get a nice little wick below that and then back up, something of that nature. If it does move to the upside, okay, you've got this real nice zone here that you could be looking for a retest, all right, which is going to be the previous day's open, all right, and the previous day's high. So if you just mark yourself out a nice zone here, all right, this is a definite zone where it should be pretty hard to get through this. But if we do get through it, look for it to come back and retest and keep on going, all right? That's the way I would be looking at it. Yep. Yep, that would really be it. And then to the downside, if I do want to hop in and maybe try to get it all the way down to this 97 zone here, I would need to see, I mean, this starts looking all right here on the 3-minute chart, but it's still very, very dangerous short. And we're hitting that 0.5 in this fair value gap. Now maybe come up to that golden pocket on the fair value gap. The only beautiful thing about a trade from here would be stop loss could be quite tiny. Even, I mean, all these fib levels are great. 0.5 golden pocket. The 786 is still quite up high. It's through the fair value gap, but it's still in the fair value gap candle. And even the 886 is right at the wick, like midpoint of the wick on that. So pretty decent. Then you've got this order block here. All right, that's what I'd be looking at. But this is pretty sketchy. So this is it's kind of like a good exercise in just being patient and not having to get in on a trade. Because this is often what happens in the New York Open. It's just the what they call the New York washing machine, where it just quick up, quick down, get everybody excited, get everybody terrified, and then just stop and get everybody bored. All right, that's like the 3 phases of FUD and FOMO, you know, excitement, fear, and then just stop and make them ask, what just happened? What's going on? All right, so then you wait for something that you're looking for, as opposed to chasing movement in the market. Don't chase it. Wait for it to come to you. If it's not doing anything that looks like you want it to look like, then just don't touch it. Stay away from it, all right? So that is going to do it. I am now going to go drink myself some coffee and then wait to see what happens here, especially on this NASDAQ move. I really want to see Bitcoin come down to that level, so I think I'm going to wait for that. NASDAQ, going to see if it can get into this Asia range low here and maybe start trading above the New York opening range, the London opening range, and look for a potential long here. But again, it has not done anything. It's not taken previous day's levels at all, so they might be waiting for the old Donald to speak, see what kind of regulations he's going to be dismantling, and then everybody will go hog wild. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Oh, well, you've already commented plenty, never mind. Join the Discord, get on in there, ask questions, feel free. It's a pretty chilled out community. Nobody, there's no real hard and fast rules and regs in there. Everybody's pretty helpful. Ask questions, you'll always get a response. And that's about it, man. Hope you guys have a great afternoon. Stay safe. Be very careful with this insanity, because it really does look like they're just ripping and dipping here. So let things kind of obviously show themselves to you and then get on in there. We'll monitor this in the Discord group and check it out. No worries, JD. Thank you, man. Thanks for watching. Have a great one, and we'll talk soon, everybody. Be safe and be well. Till tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.